Please subscribe and don't forget to press the bell icon to get notified whenever we upload a new video.
OCI is an overseas citizen of India. Now, earlier we used to have this concept PIO, and people were issued what is known as a PIO card. But while the NRI community raised the demand for dual citizenship, the government thought that let us try to exceed and accommodate in some way. While the dual citizenship has not been granted in the context of the rights to vote or even the rights to get to a legislative or a constitutional post, almost all rights that are enjoyed by an Indian citizen are sought to be given if you have an OCI registration, Overseas Citizen of India. And an overseas citizen of India would obviously be a foreign national, but who is having his Indian origin. So a person who is a PIO and who is an NRI, he can take this OCI registration because it gives certain distinct benefits. And the benefits, let me explain. You can walk in, walk out of India at your choice, because along with your foreign passport, when you have this OCI registration card, that means the OCI registration certificate, that means you don't need any visa. That grants you a permanent right of entry or residency into India, also allows you to do any work that you wish in India, and more than that, it grants to all NRIs very special privileges which are otherwise given, and you don't need to establish your PIO status because it is admitted and accepted in your OCI registration. So for purposes of education, for purposes of investment, for getting various other financial benefits and privileges, I think this OCI registration would be extremely helpful. And therefore, OCI is getting more and more popular. There used to be a time when people of Indian origin, just because they had their foreign passports, if they used to stay in India, say for a period of more than 180 days, 6 months, they had to go to the police station, the nearest police station, and get permission to stay more than 6 months. So there were so many hassles and procedural issues. I think the OCI has come to be, which is also popularly referred to as a dual citizenship, has come to be accepted and admitted as a big blessing for all NRIs. The main reason is that you can apply for your OCI registration by registering it on the site ociservices.gov.in, and it's an online application. What has to be attached is very clearly explained. It is extremely user friendly. And once you prepare the application, you have two alternatives. Say you are out of India, then you have to submit it physically to the nearest embassy, high commission or consulate, which is having jurisdiction over where you live. And then they take over from there. If you are in India, then you have to apply to the Ministry of Home Affairs, send your application there, and they would do the processing. Now this work has also been entrusted to what we know as VFS, the Visa Facilitation Services. And therefore, you really don't even need to go all the way to the embassies or consulates. Wherever there are these VFS centers, you can easily submit, just as you apply for your visas, etc. You can submit these applications. And let me tell you that if all is okay, you can easily get your OCI registration within 30 days. And there used to be a time earlier when, up to the age of 20, it used to be that you had to, apply every time you change your passport for the OCI registration afresh. Why? Because, your facial features, etc., they keep on changing. And above the age of 50 also, you had to apply for a renewal. But just this year, in April 21, the government of India considerably simplified even this, and now for all practical purposes, the OCI registration, once done, has been made permanent. There are some fees, of course, which are involved, but it's like a one-time affair. $275 US, or an equivalent of rupees 15,000, that is to be submitted as your registration fees. But I would say it's worth that cost and that little time and effort, because as we saw earlier, the OCI card can prove to be a huge blessing for you.